The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Now just 2 weeks away from the Holy Bull Stakes. We'll have updates on Maximus Mischief here at the top of the show. On the racetrack, our local feature this week, fillies and mares with an optional claimer at 6.5 furlongs. John Service had not 1 but 2 contenders. We'll have that coming up in our first block. National coverage features graded stakes racing from Rosetta, Adina, and Gulfstream Park, and a special feature on the Pegasus World Cup coming up next week at Gulfstream Park. Hi, everybody. Keith Jones down the beautiful first floor here at Parks Racing, and wingman extraordinaire Dick Girardi. And Dick, as we start the show today, the work has started down the Kentucky Derby Trail for these young 3-year-olds. Maximus Mischief on the racetrack at Gulfstream Park.
Right, he had his first work last weekend, a half a mile. He'll work again this weekend, and as you said, Keith, the race is coming up fast.
And there's some other news regarding our buddy Maximus Mischief. Frankie Pennington obviously had been aboard for his starts up here and up in New York, but that will not be so down at Gulfstream.
It will not. Jose Ortiz is going to work him this weekend, and he is going to ride him in the Holy Bull. I'm not sure what the long-term situation is. Right. If you remember, it's interesting. You go back to 2005 with the Fleet Alex, also co-owned by Chuck Zachney, who is a majority owner here of Maximus Mischief. They changed from Jeremy Rose to John Velasquez, then eventually went back to Jeremy Rose. Right. So you keep your options open. But yeah, right now, Frankie is no longer the rider. We all feel terribly for him because he did nothing wrong. I think the issue came down to Jose Ortiz rides regularly at Gulfstream Park, and Jose Ortiz is Jose Ortiz. He's one of the best there is. It's a business decision. Frankly, it's disappointing for everybody around here at the racetrack because you want to see guys like Frankie get a chance. But I also get it. I understand why the decision was made.
Well, you talk about you get it. You don't get many horses of the quality of Maximus Mischief to win the world's biggest race, the Kentucky Derby. Right. And when you do so, you want somebody that has some experience in that position.
Yeah, Jose has not won the Derby himself, but he's obviously won a lot of big races. And if you said to me, who's the best rider in the country right now, my answer would be Jose Ortiz. I think he's that good. But with the understanding that Maximus Mischief has some quirks, Frankie has worked him, Frankie has ridden him. You're giving up that experience for experience in big races. Again, we feel really badly for Frankie because I think he would have done everything right with this horse, and I think the proof is go back to 2004 when the people with Smarty Jones stayed loyal to Stuart Elliott, and they were rewarded obviously with the Derby and the Preakness. I'm not saying the decision is wrong. I understand it. It's just there's a whole other side of it. There's 2 sides to every issue.
Well, Frankie's still a young guy, so maybe one of these days his day will come.
Let's hope so.
Yep, absolutely. Dick, let's get to our local race of the week. We have an optional claimer from Saturday afternoon, 6.5 furlongs. The fillies and mares, their second level allowance condition. A couple of horses in here for $25,000, a $47,000 person. John Service saddled the 2 favorites. We'll start with number 2, Saint Main Event, who goes off here at 2-1. Now, Dick, last time this horse won a second level allowance against the State Breds, and it looked like Frankie Pennington had a choice between this horse and the other horse of Fleet Tizzy, who we'll talk about in just a second. Frankie chose this one.
Yeah, he did. When I was on down the stretch going over the races last Saturday with Dave Johnson and Bill Finley, we were discussing, and Bill brought up very rightly, hey, Frankie has chosen this one. I, of course, picked the other one, but it was rational to look at St. Main Event thinking the jockey might know something.
That's funny. I picked the other one, too. Fleet Tizzy goes off at 5-2 and gets the services of Josh Navarro. And Dick, she's extremely consistent. She almost never runs a bad race, but if there's a knock, she has 4 wins in 8 seconds.
Yeah, that is the knock. She just finds a way not to quite get there a lot, but her best race is obviously good enough.
Yeah.
But these 2 are really close. Mr. Service, who won the training title here in 2018, is only winning at 42%. Early on here in 2019.
6.5 furlongs. Here's our local race of the week. Lockheed leads the way with 2.5 furlongs to go. St. Main Event on the inside. Now begins to close that gap second. Ranger Lady is on the outside third. After that comes Truth of the Lies, Gem Rose and a Fleet Tizzy. Neither of those 2 have been a factor so far. They come to the last furlong. Lockheed still trying to hold on for that upset win. St. Main Event is closing ground. Down there is the rail. Here comes St. Main Event. Lockheed the outside, St. Main Event the inside. St. Main Event up the rail to take the lead. St. Main Event draws clear late. Well, Dick, you and I chose wrong.
Yes, we
Frankie
did.
Pennington chose right.
Correct.
Here comes St. Main Event up the rail with a rally from off the pace and ends up drawing clear to win by a solid 3 lengths at the end. $6.60 to win. Number 7, Gem Rose with a big late run to get second. Number 4, Lockheed, a long shot, finishes out the trifecta. Dick, St. Main Event has been sharp lately, and another win for our guy John Service.
Yeah, I would have done a lot better in that race if it was like a trainer mutual field instead of a horse. Like I could have bet on the trainer. I would have gotten that right. I just got the horse wrong.
St. Main Event owned by our guy Dan McConnell. Well, Dick, asked the president. Our guy Sal DeMonte is back. We talked a little bit about this last week. Bruce had a special feature about horses. Now, Sal talks about it's like a factory. There's just so many jobs that are associated with a horse.
Well, there is no question. Thousands of them here in the Commonwealth.
Here's Pat Shiraki with Sal DeMonte and Ask the President.
This is a year-round program, and the other places are not. That this is a highly competitive industry.
So we're competing with other states to basically keep the owners and the trainers and the jockeys here and everything else that goes with it. The reason that slots even came into Pennsylvania, we were going, after they had gotten slots in Delaware and West Virginia, we were losing owners, trainers, and jockeys to those states. And basically what the legislature said, we need to make a level playing field and bring those people back. And it worked.
And so you've used the horse as kind of the centerpiece, but that horse has also created a wheel of a lot of other jobs.
Correct.
Because of the way that the industry operates.
And that it benefits the local municipality, it benefits the county, and it benefits the state. So that's what all that comes from.
And so you see this, the industry and this one horse, almost as a factory.
Yes.
So how do you explain that?
Well, to me, a factory creates jobs. Okay? They have assembly line workers, they have staff, they have suppliers coming in. It's an assembly line. If you're making Fords, you have to bring in all the supplies at the end, at the beginning. You have to have all the workers that do all the work along the way. At the end, the product comes out. It's a Ford, and then you have somebody to inspect them and drive them off and haul them off and do all that. Well, it's the same thing here. We're basically have the horse running. It needs care 24/7. So we have to have all the supplies and the personnel to get that going. You have to have people to run the race. The jockeys have to be there. You have to exercise them during the week. So there's all this work that has to be done. We have to van them to different tracks. We have to, and
you have to take care of them medically.
These are athletes that are performing. So it's not like you just let them sit there and eat grass. You have to really take care of them. And that's what creates all these jobs.
And of course, our thanks to Pat and Sal. And as we head to our first break, Dick, pretty rich race next weekend coming up.
Yes.
Yeah?
Pegasus,
Yeah.
World Cup, Gulfstream Park.
Special feature on that. We come back after this.
There are 2 unparalleled contests, a $9 million dirt race and a new $7 million turf event.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
What does Chapman's 7 locations and 10 car brands mean to you? It means a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models, many one-owner low mileage certified with miles of factory warranty remaining. Safety checked, meticulously detailed, and each come with a free Carfax report so you can buy with complete confidence at any Chapman Auto store near you. Or shop online anytime at ChapmanPreowned.com.
If our emblem is not on your car or truck, you probably did pay too much.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time for a special feature segment this week. And as we mentioned, going into the break next weekend on the 26th of January, America's richest race, Dick. It's the Pegasus World Cup, an invention of Frank Stronach down at Gulfstream Park. And this is only the 3rd running of this big event.
Right, and we'll get Accelerate, who's going to find out 2 days ahead of the race if he's the horse of the year or not, or whether it's going to go to Justify. This will be his final race before he heads off to Stud, the Breeders' Cup Classic winner.
Dick, 2017, Arrogate was the winner.
Yes.
Last year it was Gun Runner.
Yes.
And the idea of Mr. Stronach was to put a race here in late January where horses doesn't affect the Breeders' Cup, doesn't affect the Dubai World Cup. You get these super superstars with maybe one last race before heading to stud, which kind of starts in the spring.
Yeah, and it's worked pretty well given the first two winners. California Chrome, of course, that was his final race 2 years ago in the first one of these. But yeah, so far so good, but you got to put up the money. That's the biggest issue. Are people going to still be willing to put up the money to get involved in this thing?
Well, here's more with our friend Lafitte Pinkai.
Pegasus. It is an event of epic proportion, but it is a competition. More than just a rivalry between cheering crowds and the music, entertainment, and party that plays long into the South Florida night. Historically, the Pegasus soared alone, but at Gulfstream Park, he now flies among a flock of 12, each with beating hearts and wills to win. In this, the third act of a world-class celebration, there are two unparalleled contests, a $9 million dirt race and a new $7 million turf event, each with a $500,000 buy-in, specifically designed to separate those who want to win from those who want to take part. The champion Accelerate always wants to win, but this isn't a coronation. It's a challenge, and the competitors are ready, assembling from around the world, intent on clipping his wings. But they are led by an underdog in hometown hero Gunnavera. His trainer Antonio Sano has already cashed his lottery ticket. 10 years ago, he stood chained to a wall in a windowless cell in Venezuela, kidnapped for the second time in his life. Ransom was paid yet again, and Sano took his freedom and his family to South Florida. He paid once more 6 years later, $16,000 for an orphaned colt. That horse, Gunnavera, has now won over $4 million.
Yes, Gunnavera is the best horse trainer in my life. It's not my horse. It's the horse of all people in Florida.
The mystery horse in the Pegasus field carries the moniker not of a winged horse, but of a winged snake. Named after a Mayan deity, Kukulkan, sports a divine undefeated record that includes the Mexican Triple Crown. Last month, he won the Caribbean Classic at the Pegasus distance at Gulfstream by 10 authoritative lengths. Against lesser rivals for sure, but owner Herman Larrea is a sportsman, and his $500,000 ante for a starting gate slot has already been paid. To hedge his bet, the copper mining billionaire also paid for perhaps the top rider in the world. European jockey Frankie Dettori will look to execute his flying dismount from the Mexican horse in the South Florida sun. Another hometown horse, Audible, is looking to make some noise. Trained by the legendary Todd Pletcher, he too is won at the track and distance, taking Gulfstream's Florida Derby. Yes, he lost his last race, but it was in monsoonal conditions, which can be dismissed. Audible's owners have already had a magical ride. Their Triple Crown winner, Justify, is now retired to Coolmore's Ashford Stud, a palace built to rival Olympus. Coolmore now has sights set on the inaugural Pegasus turf with an exceptional Irish filly, Magic Wand, trained by the wizard himself, Aidan O'Brien. And he better have all the magic he can muster. Like its big brother dirt race, the Pegasus World Cup turf has attracted the best from around the world. Japanese superstar filly Aeroleaf will make the trip from the other side of the globe. The Japanese-bred, American-owned Yoshida, named for the most prominent family in Japanese racing, will be there to confront her, as will Catapult for Accelerate's trainer John Sadler in the opening act of his $16 million day. While Catapult will accompany Accelerate to Gulfstream, there's an important member of the team who will not. 5 months ago, an accident left Victor Espinosa with a broken neck, a glimpse at his own mortality, and the serious reality that being a jockey might forever be his former occupation. Espinosa's insights into Accelerate are unique. What will it take to upset the champ? Perhaps just the champ himself.
He's a little, funny and silly. When he want to do things, nobody can beat him. But sometimes probably he don't feel like doing anything and he will not do it. He would not run.
With substitute rider Joel Rosario, Accelerate's done nothing but run, combining for 3 consecutive victories. He will have to do it one more time. To be the best, you must beat the best. On January 26th, they are coming to Gulfstream Park. They are coming for him. They are coming from around the world. They are coming to do more than just take part. They are coming for 16 million reasons. They are ready. You better be ready too.
And our thanks to the good folks at XBTV and Eclipse Award-winning producer Amy Zimmerman for that piece. And Dick, where can you bet the Pegasus World Cup?
You can bet it here.
Yeah,
you can bet
absolutely.
it at the turf clubs.
Yep.
You can bet it at Phone Bet. You can bet it all over the place.
Be a great race. We're looking forward to that. Again, that's next week. Come out and enjoy that right here at Parks Racing. Let's get to our national coverage brought to you by Chapman Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably paid too much. Our first stop is out at Santa Anita for the Grade 3 La Quinata. The fillies and mares at 1 mile at 1/16th here. A purse of $100,000. The favorite number 6, Escape Clause, is 1-2 for trainer Dan Schnell. And Dick, she's even money, and boy, does she like to win.
Yeah, but 9 out of 13 last year and 18 out of 27 lifetime. Yeah, you don't see that very often.
Yeah, the second choice here is comes out of the John Sadler barn, number 4, True Royalty. And Dick coming off a poor effort in the Raven Run. She's had a little bit of time off.
Yeah, she's 3 for 9 lifetime.
Yep.
A little difference in the race records.
A little sealed, kind of a wet racetrack out of Santa Anita.
Yeah, what is going on with it? Raining in Southern California? That's not supposed to happen.
Escape Clause is even money. Here's the call.
They have 5/8 of a mile to go in the La Quinata Stakes, and it's Stradella Road, 3/4 of a length. True Royalty keeps the pressure on second. Escape Clause a tracking third. Lamuna joined by Bernina Star along the inside, who's now only 3 lengths off the lead. KP Wildcats at the back. Heading to the 3/8 pole, Stradella Road's been there every step of the way, maintains a 3/4 length lead on True Royalty. Escape Clause now makes a bold move, though, and Escape Clause inhales Stradella Road around the far turn and kicks smartly for home. KP Wildcat is in third, Bernina Star. They're at the top of the stretch, and Escape Clause threatening to turn this into a romp. She's in front by 6.
Well, that was an eye-catching move by Escape Clause around the far turn. She just kind of rolls right past everybody and sustains it to the end. Goes on to win 5.5. Number 7, KP Wildcat was second. Dick, $4.20 to win on Escape Clause. Bred in Manitoba?
Yeah, again, you don't see that every day. It's like, really, Manitoba?
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter. They come from all over the place. You're trying to look at this breeding, and you're thinking, wait a second. It's a granddaughter of Unbridled Song. I've never heard of the sire.
Right.
Damn, who knows? I've never heard of the damn sire, but you know what? She can run.
She sure can. And again, $4.20 to win. Let's get down to Gulfstream Park. A couple of races on the grass. We'll start with the Grade 3 Tropical Turf. We'll go a mile here for $100,000. The favorite number 6, Heart to Heart, is even money for trainer Brian Lynch. Starts his 8-year-old season. Starting to get up there a little bit. And Dick, I thought this was a curious spot. He was a Grade 1 winner twice last year. Makes his seasonal debut in a Grade 3 race.
He's won $2 million, but he's kind of a heart stopper because often breaks very poorly and eliminates himself at the start.
Second choice, number 2, White Flag, is 2-1 racing out of that Christophe Clement barn. And as you look at his PPs, you have to wonder whether a mile is maybe a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's the issue coming into the race.
Tropical Turf from Gulfstream. Here's the call.
And Jose Ortiz and White Flag have secured a pretty hassle-free lead. They lead now by a length. Some token pressure from Holiday Stone in second. Vichy at the inside third. Mr. Freeze is back to fourth, 2.5 in front of the old man Heart to Heart. Then it's a length and a half to Your Only Man, and the trailer is Dr. Mounty. Less than half a mile to go in the 41st Tropical Turf as they swing around the far turn. 46 and 4 for a half mile. White Flag continues to shoulder the load. He leads the way by a length. On the outside in Holiday Stone trying to get out is Vichy. On now from fourth is Heart to Heart. 2.5 back to Your Only Man, and they're at the top of the stretch. White Flag wheels for home on top. Here's Heart to Heart, swung to the center by Leparoux to get on track, and Vichy's between horses. 1/8 of a mile to go. White Flag appears to be throwing that right out here as Heart to Heart charges to take the lead. Your Only Man and Dr. Mounty from last, and Dr. Mounty wins and wins going away.
Well, you mentioned those gate issues for Heart to Heart. He kind of hopped in the air right at the beginning, did not get a good start, had a wide trip into the first turn, does rally to get the lead, But Dick, here comes number 4, Dr. Mountie, who was last early, 5-1, roars by the ball for Shug and pays $12.20 to win.
Yeah, this is a pretty impressive win for my man, Mr. McGahee. But man, if you're betting heart to heart at even money, that's the 3rd time in a year he's broken poorly and basically been eliminated because he's a need to lead or be right up there kind of horse. I'll pass on even money on the 8-year-old the rest of this year.
Take the other turf race at Gulfstream for fillies and mares. The Grade 3 Marsha's River. They'll go 1 mile and 1/16. $1.50 is the pot here for this. Number 7 La Signore is the 2-1 favorite here again. Brian Lynch saddles the winner. Just the 6th career start for this horse, and 2 starts back got a very easy lead to win a Grade 3 up at Belmont Park.
Yeah, easy lead, and then hasn't raced since July. So that's the issue, is how ready is she going to
Second choice, number 1, Bellevue, is also 2-1 for trader Todd Pletcher. Took almost a year off between 17 and 18, and this will be her 3rd start back, that key 3rd start off the layoff.
Right, one off the layoff, and then was not badly beaten, but totally different race course. First it was a firm course, the next time it wasn't. The mid fractions, or 3/4 fractions, were 4 seconds apart. Tell you the difference. This is a firmer track today.
Marsha's River, here's the call.
It's I'm Betty G trying to back down the speed in the middle part of the race. Leads the way by a half a length. On the outside in La Signore was 2nd with Valedictorian 3rd. Back to 4th in Bellevue. 5th and unhurried is Monte Cristo. Bombshell looks for room at the rail. No place to go yet. 2 back to Hogan's Holiday, and Rose Tree is last. That's the 8 of them as they swing around the far turn. They went a half mile in 48-1 and less than 5/16 to go in the Marsha's River with La Signore up for a narrow lead. I'm Betty G is right there 2nd. Back to 3rd and Valedictorian. Bellevue looks for some place to go under Castellano, and they're at the top of the stretch. I'm Betty G repelling the challenges so far toward the inside, and Bellevue tries to secure the rail, and she does just that, and here she comes through now. Bellevue, under a ground-saving trip from Castellano, have kicked clear. It's Bellevue in the Marsha's River, a no doubt about it winners.
What's this? Todd Pletcher winning a stake race at Gulfstream Park. Number 1 Bellevue at 2-1 rallies to win by 3.5 lengths at the end. The 6-horse I'm Betty G, who set the pace, held on for 2nd. Number 4 Valedictorian was 3rd. Number 1 Bellevue, Todd Pletcher, you certainly could make a case for her, and she got it done, $6.60.
Yeah, she got her course this time. She clearly was very appreciative of the firm course. Todd only won 215 races last year, but he was kind of quiet. What is going on in this world? My man's only winning 215. Of course, the year before he did win the Derby and the Belmont, but even then he couldn't get the Trainer of the Year award.
Dick, let's get to our next week. We come back here on Let's Go Racing. It is our Turning for Home Horse of the Week. More racing action to take a look at. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. It's time to meet our Turning for Home Horse of the Week. It's brought to you, of course, by the folks at Turning for Home. Log on to their website at turningforhome.org. The horse of the week is Simoladora. And here is more from Danielle Montgomery.
Our Turning for Home Horse of the Week is the 4-year-old 16-hand bay mare by successful appeal named Simoladora. Dora, as she is known at Dark Horse Farm in Ballston Spa, New York, has been learning dressage since retiring in August of 2018 at Parks. And she's also going great at the walk, trot, and canter over small jumps. Her trainer Heather says she is honest to the fences and never looks at a jump twice. Her begging technique is also better than most dogs. She is ready for adoption, and you can find her contact information as well as the many other fantastic horses who are available at turningforhome.org.
And Turning for Home also sponsors our Jockey and Trainer of the Week. Jockey of the Week is that Manny Esquivel. He just does a solid job week in and week out riding First Call for Pat Farrow. Trader of the Week is that Joe Taylor. He had 3 wins here on the Monday program. You win 3.
You're in.
You're going to be our Trader of the Week. Let's go to Laurel for the Native Dancer. 1 mile and 1/16, $1,000 purse. And Dick, the favorite here, number 5, bonus points, 2-1 for that guy, Todd Pletcher. But how about the guys from West Point? Number 2, General Downs gets a great trip.
General Downs. You got to like those West Point names. Terry Finley must have known somebody named General Downs and lives up to his namesake. Wins the Native Dancer by, what, 3/4 of a length at the end?
And he is a stakes winner, $10.20 to win on General Downs. Eye on racing, we mentioned the Pegasus World Cup, but Dick, the 3-year-olds are going to get started out in the Midwest at Fairgrounds, the Grade 3 Lecomte.
Yeah, I have never been to the Fairgrounds. I've been to New Orleans many times.
Really?
One of these years I'm going to wander down there for a little Lecomte or the Risen Star, or maybe even the Louisiana Derby.
Steve Asmussen saddling tight 10, and Tom Amos, who's won 4 of these, is going to saddle Plus Q Parfait, who was second in the Grade 2 Kentucky Jockey Club. We'll take a look at that next week here on Let's Go Racing.
We will.
We're going to go to news and notes.
Okay.
Be right back to wrap it up after this.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
who proudly earn our living
in Pennsylvania's horse racing
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
But it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
Jobs, and billions in economic impact each year.
All across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Want to get out of the cold this winter? Well, Parks Racing is just the place to keep you warm and toasty. Parks Racing gives you plenty of horse racing action all winter long. Live racing 3 days a week, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yes, Sunday is a day of rest from the live action.
Catherine Sophia, very impressive.
We have simulcast racing every day from tracks all around the country. So put on your snow boots, grab your coat, and head on over to Parks Racing. It's warm and toasty.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. The final segment, News and Notes, brought to you by Pewter Stable. Log on to the website at pewterstable.com. She's back, Trish Bowman. She's always good to have Trish here. Bruce Casella, Dick Girardi, Keith Jones, and Dick. Little open house for our buddy Smarty Jones.
Right, he is back, returning to Pennsylvania. He will be standing stud at Equistar Farm in Annville, PA, which is right near Lebanon Valley College and Penn National, not far from Harrisburg, and it's an open house today to welcome back the greatest Pennsylvania bred of all.
Dick is a sire. He just sired his 1,500th winner, and we have the call.
We do.
But don't ask me to translate. Here's more.
El 5, Hernandarias, varios cuerpos de ventaja, lo sigue Le Carolo los últimos 20 metros.
Well, 1,500 is a pretty big number, Dick. What goes on at an open house?
Well, just so the public gets to come and see Smarty Jones when he is, and who doesn't want to see Smarty Jones?
Well, absolutely. Dick, that's going to wrap it up for this week's edition. Come out and bet the races right here at Parks Racing, and Dick and I will see you next week on Let's Go Racing.